right, so now we are going to learn how to write repeating decimals as fractions. Okay, let me get rid of that G here. It's an extra G. And what am I saying by that? Let's say you have 0.66. This is a repeating decimal number, okay? This is basically saying that this is 0.6666666, same thing. So how can you turn this decimal number with repeating digits as a fraction? How can you do that? That's a simple technique. We're gonna learn how to do it, okay? So let's assume that this number is n. Let's call it n, okay? N equals 0.6666 and okay? Now, what you wanna do is this, you wanna turn this into a fraction, okay? So let's say we assume that I multiply this by 10, okay? It's a simple technique. If I multiply this by 10, that means I'm multiplying this by 10, right? So if I multiply by 10, you're gonna move this one place to the right. So this is gonna turn into 6.6666 and all that, all right? So now the next step is critical. Basically, you are trying to solve, you are trying to turn this into a fraction. So if you recognize here, they have the same ending, okay? N is the same thing. N has 0.6666, and then 10n has 6.6666. So I want to get rid of this decimal portion. So how do I do that? I'm going to subtract them. So if I do 10n minus n, that gives me 6.6666, right? Minus 0.6666, right? So what's going to happen is this is going to take care of this ending. Okay, this is going to be gone, right? That goes away. So you're left with 10n minus n equal to 6, because 6 minus 0 is 6, right? Now 10n minus n is just 9n, because n is just one n. So you're left with 9n equals to 6. And to solve for n, we have 9n equals 6. That becomes just a simple equation. You want to divide by 9 because you're trying to isolate your n. So n equals to 6 over 9. And again, last time we talked about simplifying fractions. What's the GCF between 6 and 9? Meaning what goes into 6 that goes into 9? 3. So 6 can be written as 3 times 2, and 9 is 3 times 3. So what happens? This cancels out. You're left with 2/3. Okay? So basically 0.66 is equal to 2/3. Okay? So this is easy when the numbers are the same. So we're gonna work on a separate example. Let's assume that I have 0.42. Okay? Let me write the 0.42 here. So let's try to turn 0.42 into a fraction. Okay, let's try to do that real quick. So I'm gonna start the same way. I'm gonna assume that x is equal to 0.42, okay? And it's repeating numbers. So remember, I'm trying to get rid of the decimal portion, right? So I have 42. So that means this is also equal to 0.42, 42, 42, 42. That's what's happening, right? So now the key is this. You're trying to get rid of these 42, 42, 42, 42s. So I'm going to multiply this by 100. Okay, I'm going to multiply this by 100. So that's going to happen here. So I'm going to do 100 times x is equal. Again, we're going to move it 2 places to the right. 42, 42, 42, 42. And the goal, as you can recognize, is to get rid of this portion. Okay, we're trying to get rid of this decimal portion. You see that? So if I do 100x minus x is going to give me 42, because 42 minus 0 is 42. Now I have 99x equals to 42, and to solve for x, I'm just going to divide by 99. So that gives me x equals 42 over 99. Now, there's no number. Let me try and see, we can see, let's try to see if we can simplify this, okay? Let's try to see. We might be able to. So I have 99 and I have 42. So here's what I do here. I want to see if there's a GCF here, a greatest common factor. Now, 99, 9 plus 9 is 18, right? So I know that they're both divisible by 3. Why? Because 4 plus 2 is 6. 4 plus 2 is 6. And 6 is a multiple of 3. And then 9 plus 9 is 18. And 18 is also a multiple of 3, which means that these numbers are both divisible by 3. So if I divide 42 by 3, I get 14. If I divide 99 by 3, I get 33. So this becomes 14 over 33. All right? So I hope that you recognize a pattern. So if you have 2 digits that are repeating, that are 2 digits that are like repeating but are not the same, you multiply this by 100. If you have like 3 digits that are repeating but are not the same, again, you multiply by 1,000. So this is the pattern, all right? So this is how you turn a repeating decimal into a fraction, all right? And I'll see you next time for the next one. Thank you.